rate I'm going, learning this crap, I'm going to be as technologically savvy as everybody else.
And we're live.
Wait, when did that come in? That was
When I started saying 3, when I started the countdown is when it
Jeez.
started.
Hello, and
It'll be
welcome
one
to
of
another
those
evening
nights.
of Dungeons and Dad Jokes, where if we're not experiencing technical difficulties, we're not alive. All right. Gosh, I don't even know where I'm going with this now. Check out our website. It is under construction, so there's a lot of new things going on. Things rearranged, whatnot. Just, follow the roadmaps. But check out our website at our conventions. It's under upcoming events still. It's not quite under the conventions tab yet. It's still under the upcoming events. That is the Louisville Bourbon City Steam and the Wild Wild West Steampunk Convention. Both of those events we will be at, and most of us will be at both of those events.
We have added on the Chicago Steampunk Exposition as well.
Oh, yeah, so check that out. Chicago as well, we've added on. We will be there in late May, last weekend of May into June. So check that out.
Prices.
June 1st.
Yeah, May 30th to June 1st.
Watching
So-
flight prices for it.
Yeah, no doubt. Watch the flight prices. But all the links to those conventions are also on our website. So if you want more information, man, I can't speak tonight. It's going to be a long night. If you want more information on that, go to their website. They have lots of information where you can purchase tickets, find out about accommodations, all kinds of things. So check out their websites for that information. There's nothing happening in February. Why are you snickering? You are snickering. I don't know why.
I took the spiritual gifts assessment test tonight.
You have
those are
zero
fun.
mercy. We already know that.
I have more than I had the last time.
Wow.
We'll discuss it later. It
Okay.
changed dramatically.
All right. So with that, if you're joining us for the first time, make sure you subscribe so you can chat. A couple of us do watch that and try to respond to you. Sometimes we forget what we're supposed to be doing. And so subscribe, join in the chat, leave us some notes, let us know you're watching. Also hit that like button, and let's get going. We'll talk about last week first. This week's session is number 97.
7. 97.
Dang, we're getting up there, guys.
That's not how old I feel.
She's going to start giving us a level every session so we can get level at session 100.
I don't know about hitting 20 at 100.
Good
No,
luck.
that ain't gonna happen. All right.
Well, technically, if you give us one every session, we would get to level 20 by 100.
Well, sure. If I did it every
But we won't have
session.
earned it.
Just get a lot done. And
Worry
then
to get started.
Okay.
Just give us some dragons to fight.
Yeah. A Tarrasque.
A Tarrasque. Okay.
Always fun.
I got other things in store.
Well, looking forward to destroying them for you.
I'm sure you are. I look at monsters not at how well I can, hold up against you, but how cool you guys can tear them up, because it doesn't take you long usually.
Well, because we're just that good.
So anyway, we are on session 97, titled Sleepers. Let's remind ourselves what happened last week. Last week, you guys were headed back to Thrice when you witnessed what looked like something tearing through the land. Through foresight taking flight, you realize that this is going to be another crevice, much like what is known as the Scar, so referring it to as a new Scar. And Forsyth estimated that it would be over 100 miles long and at least 15 miles wide at its widest point. Eventually, you guys make it to Thrice, where Tatra meets you with another riddle. The riddle, you guys can find it on the website if you'd like, but I'll go ahead and read it. Across the land, devastation spreads. Second to be the city of four heads. Shield the land by orreries old. Activate one new into the fold. Tatra then handed Kadeth a star sapphire. She leaves as the group discusses the possibilities and implications of the new riddle. Many ideas come up about the identification of the city with four heads, with no definite conclusion. As they begin to realize the city is in commotion, they find out the river was disrupted and there is damage to the city. Forsyth quickly jumps in and attempts to create a spillway for the river, now flowing in the wrong direction. Kadeth and Fix go to Ephraimon to collect some help from there and brings back 10 druids along with Cybella. Evangeline heads to the Amber Pope to discover that he and Maius were already getting the merchant ships and the fleet in the City of Bridges underway to aid in however was needed. By the time evening arrives, there's a good start at mitigating much of the damage that could affect the economy of Thrice. Kadeth heads to the Pool of Blood and enters to commune with the Raven Queen. She confirms that the cities without shields could be in danger of Velsharoon's new approach to the material plane. She also shared that all the gods contributed to the cards, but it was Ao that determined what would be revealed, and many of the gods do not agree with this course of action. She warns that the group may be called to a reckoning. Evangeline also communes to receive direction. She lays out all of her cards, as well as her book, well, all but one, and her book in the crystal ball, opening up her commune to any gods that were willing to share. When she asked about their presence, all cards gave a brief flash. Evangeline sees within the orb the shields that cover the steadfast and beyond. Toward the center is Rormon. The cards flip over except for the library, and he shows her, Denier that being he, shows her that the order does not matter, but that they all need to be activated. During the night, Fix also has a dream of being pulled above the city by Gond. He can see the network of the shields that create a circle around most of the steadfast and the beyond, watching the center begin to fill from Rormon. And then Saji joins. Filled with a sense of pride, he hears Gond whisper, "My greatest work." In the morning, the group heads to Rormon, knowing the orrery there can shield the city. When they arrive, Garrett leads them to the lower level where they discover an unpowered machine that could be designed to be part of the network of shields. They place the sapphire into the machine and it begins to emit energy. When they go outside, they can see the iridescent network above the city and that it seems to stretch further southward toward the foundation stones, where they had previously activated an orrery. As they prepare to leave Thrice, they also begin to notice the shield stretching northward as well. Phalathus contacts Fix to let him know his task has been completed and he was going home. The group travels then by cloud to the city of Nyliesh. You are outside Nyliesh.
We were just going there because it's on the way to where we need to go, right?
Yeah, you had planned on going to the Citadel of the Iron Saint.
Yeah.
And
It
we were
takes
also
him-
going to get Evangeline some more ink, weren't we?
That's right. You're going
Oh.
to go visit Galagos. Is it Galagos?
G-Dog.
G-Dog?
I'm not seeing the map on Owlbear.
Oh, I'm sorry. I can flip it back to the map. My apologies. Yeah, that's the strangest thing about Owlbear. You can only see which one I have up.
Yep. Well, that's purposeful,
Well, I mean,
I think.
I guess I get it. I don't want you seeing all my secrets. But I hide anything I don't want you to see. There's lots of stuff on there that is there that you guys can't see. Refresh, you'll be able to see the world map if you need to.
I didn't even have to refresh. It came automatically.
Okay, that's cool. So yeah, you guys were headed on your way to the Citadel of the Iron Saint, but you're stopping by Nyliesh. At Nyliesh, I would say it is. How long did we say it'd take to get there? It's probably early
A day.
evening. Yeah,
it was like a day.
it's probably about early evening when you get to Nyliesh. You've been in Nyliesh before. It's no trouble getting up into the city. You know how all that works. Do you go to Galagos first to pick up some ink? You are muted, Rhonda.
Sorry, I was listening to the stream.
Oh.
I was trying to think what's going well. I will want to go to Galagos.
Galagos. All right, you go to Galagos. And I imagine the party is going to follow you.
Sure, why not?
All right. Everybody goes to Galagos. Galagos, you walk in. Galagos seems to be there. He seems to be reading a book or whatever. He looks up. And he's like, "Ah, you are back. What brings you back to Nyliesh?"
Ink.
Our feet.
Ink.
Clouds.
I didn't ask
Your
how you
lovely
traveled.
personality.
Okay. Ink, I can help you with. I don't know about the rest of you all.
No, there's not much help.
He gets down from the counter. He gets underneath, and you hear some bottles jingling and whatnot. And he pulls up 2 vials and sets them on the counter. Says, "I have 2.
I'll take them.
Want them both?"
I want them both.
It's much easier to replace this these days, so my price has dropped. 20 gold for both of them.
Good. Put it on the Trinston account.
Can't say
None
I
of
make
the
it up
Trintons
north.
have an account up here.
Does the Trinston account reach to beyond?
Princeton account, probably not.
Actually, I will pay them for them.
All right. I was like,
Now,
I know
the
you all got
Jagged
gold.
Dream account, that one probably does.
That's valid.
How's your daughter?
She is doing well. She had quite a bit of fright when she was out with Gavian, I believe is his name. She came back in quite a hurry. We had him take her out of Nyliesh while the stuff was going down from the council. Seeing that she was a betrothed, I really didn't want her to get caught in the crossfire. But she came back pretty quick after that. Still don't know what happened to that man.
He's fine.
Well, that is good. I can only imagine that. I was only imagining that he must have succeeded in his duties since she was back here, healthy and safe.
Well, I'm glad to hear it. She was the one that was going to be, like, transformed into a mutant, right?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. That's what I thought. I'm just trying to make sure I was thinking the right person.
Yep. And she is still very much human.
Good for her.
She has decided not to.
Never been human.
And she's going to do her best to stay that way, as far as I know.
Well, if anybody tries to change that against her will, get a hold of us.
I will. I will indeed. Is there anything else I can do for you?
I look to Evangeline.
Just ink. I'm still a little salty.
Why is she salty?
Well, you succeeded. It wasn't a fool's errand.
You could have just asked.
Next time I will.
Oh, that. Okay.
Well, you are welcome to stay up here on the upper level. How long are you staying in Nyliesh?
Just the night.
Very well.
Unless my compatriots have other plans.
Seeing the lack of response, I would guess not. Very well. Perhaps it will ease some of your saltiness. I will pay for your evening tonight.
Good luck with that.
It'll be a long while, won't it?
Perhaps.
Well, if you go down the street here, let them know Galagos sent you. And I'll cover the tab for the evening. Down the street is the ivory spoon.
Ivory spoon.
I don't know. Not good with names, in case you haven't figured it out in 96 sessions.
Plus all the sessions that
You
we've
were
done
muted.
off stream.
I posted that video for
Yeah.
you.
Oh,
Right?
I posted the video so you can get better names.
Yeah. Well, I could have called it the silver spoon. I don't know.
Question.
platinum spoon.
The platinum spoon.
I still
Answer.
have on my robe, right?
Drum spoon.
To my knowledge, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, because having your robe on top of your armor does not negate your armor in any way.
Mm-mm. As
Can
a
even
matter of
enhance
fact,
it
it
if
just
it's
makes it
proper
look like
kind
I
of
don't
robe.
have any armor
Exactly.
or weapons or.
So, if I can be of assistance in any way, that is reasonable, of course, I would be happy to help.
Sure. We'll let you know.
All right. Good.
Me and my 8 charisma taking the lead here.
Well, you are the one that wanted ink.
I am the one that wanted ink.
All right. So you guys head out. Head to the platinum spoon.
At least
The
it's not the
platinum
electro
spoon,
spoon.
not the ivory spoon.
You're going to get the wooden spoon.
That's
All
my
right.
weapon of choice until they crack.
Until they crack, yeah.
You know what a cracked wooden spoon does?
Hurt more.
It pinches.
So you head out to the platinum spoon and you walk in. It's lavishly decorated. Of course, you kind of didn't expect less at the first level up here. You are greeted. You are asked for any orders that you would like to have. Pick your table, go to the bar, whatever we can help you with.
Pick a table. Have the bar come to us.
I like a nice corner table.
Okay, to the corner it goes.
Gives me
At
a
least-
better view of the room.
Forsyth heads to the corner. Do the rest of you follow?
It's for me.
Sure.
All right. You head to the table. You are asked for orders and whatnot. You get drinks, food, whatever you want. They'll bring it to you. You eat, you drink. It tastes great. Is there anything you'd like to? It's less filling. You do. Is there anything in particular you want to do for the evening?
Probably do some forging, but that's about it.
I'm gonna say when we go to our rooms, I'm gonna check out that bag full of nanites.
Oh, jeez.
Hey, I gave you
everywhere.
warning. We talked about this last week.
We did talk about this.
Well, before the sun goes down, I'm going to go out and study the vegetation around the inn.
Okay. All right. Kadeth, anything in particular you're doing?
Quick action.
No,
Wow. What
I
is
never
this?
had a lot going on in Niliash, so
Okay. That's
I think every time
He is
Chuck is
such a good-
unmuting, the mic is like crackling really loud.
yeah.
Not sure.
He's frozen. Pick quiet.
oh
Yeah,
yeah, I
you're
am
also
frozen.
frozen.
I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
unfreeze.
You're gonna have to
Cool.
unfreeze.
I'm gonna have to
I mean,
unfreeze.
you
I'm
would
having
think
to
I'd be the one
I have to
frozen with-
unfreeze my overhead thing all day every day. So
I think I'd be
I'm used
frozen
to
with all
saying
these
that.
mountains around me.
But
I was thinking you were practicing
probably
your
just need to
ventriloquism or something.
probably just need to unplug and replug in my camera.
Okay.
If I can find the right plug.
All right. Well, as the evening goes, Kadeth is going to probably just disappear and go to sleep.
Yep.
Forsyth, you go and check out the vegetation. Vegetation. I told you it's going to be a long night. And you realize that there is kind of a courtyard here that has a lot of vegetation. It's like a little park. There's trees and bushes and things like that there. But other than that, you don't see a whole lot. Just a few potted plants here and there, because
Okay.
you're above the earth, the ground, by quite a bit
Yeah, but
right now.
only takes a bush.
That's true. That is true. They are alive and well. They are living plants. So you study that, and you kind of get a good layout of the garden up here. Fix, you go to your room, you pull out your forging, and you start forging. Are you making anything new?
He's actually going to take a page out of Evangeline's book, as dangerous as that may be. And he's just going to let the material become what it wants to become.
All right.
He's gonna draw a picture.
He's going to draw a
In metal.
picture.
In metal. Yes.
All right. You begin
In
forging
obtanium.
that metal. All right. In obtanium. All right. As you forge the obtanium, this night you're not going to complete anything, of course. But as you forge that metanium and just sing in your chant to Gond, and using it as prayer and meditation, and you just kind of let the metal, in essence, speak to you. It's a kind of a new experience, just to let something else kind of take control just for a little while. And slowly it begins to stretch, almost like it's a rod. But it's not going to be complete, not tonight. But it is stretching. It's starting to stretch out. So you get you a little excited about what might come. Evangeline, you come to your room and you get into your. Do you just dump them out? Do you reach in and call
No.
something? Like
I'm not ready to dump them out. They've been in there replicating. How much space does a bag of holding have?
quite a bit.
I'm just going to kind of reach into the bag of holding, reaching for, because I told them to just build something. We talked about it.
Yeah, you told them to build, to use the example of TTC.
That's right. TTC. And I'm going to reach in there and reach for a nanite replica of TTC.
All right, you reach in for a replica of TTC. You put your hand in and you think about the nanites TTC, and you do get a figure in your hand.
I'll pull it out.
Pull it out and you take a look, and it's a pretty darn good replica of TTC.
Nice. Good job, guys.
You do anything with it?
I am going to sit with my very nice tools with elf engraved on them. And I'm going to start working on this nanite TTC and work on opening it up ever so slightly. And I'm going to start putting the runes on the inside to make it a familiar.
All right. You begin etching in the runes needed to make it mobile, pretty much. Kind of like TTC
I
was.
set him down before I went to get my dice. Oh.
Yeah, well, you know. That's what we do around here. We play make-believe. All right. So, you work on that for a while, put him away, put away your forging. Everybody goes to sleep. The evening is quite peaceful. And as you start to drift off into sleep, you notice that there is a faint sound of music. It almost sounds like a little pan flute. It's what it kind of sounds like. But it's very calming, very relaxing.
I am suspicious.
It's roll me up. If you're suspicious, roll me a
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Wisdom saving throw. Gotta think, which one's your worst? Wait, I should have asked for charisma. Oh.
12 on the dice for a total of 13 because I just took 2 ability score points into my wisdom.
With a 13, even though you're suspicious, your eyes are heavy. It's like being sung a lullaby.
Is Evangeline the only one that hears this?
Oh, everybody hears this.
I was the only one who was
She was the only one that said, "This is suspicious." And so I figured she was fighting the falling asleep part. It's too bad. She rolled a bad wisdom.
Well,
what is this nonsense?
What is this?
I'm so used to the streets. Things like this don't make sense to me. So I would be very alert to that kind of happening.
Okay. You go ahead and roll me a wisdom saving throw. You're more likely to pass it.
Yeah. Let's see. That's 26.
Yeah. Can't roll above a 5 for an initiative, but by golly, he's got wisdom.
Well, I have a plus 11 on wisdom saving throw.
Mine's almost the same. I'm at a plus 8.
So you hear it. It sounds like a lullaby. It's very comforting.
Trying to put us to sleep.
Very calming. And you kind of look out the window. You don't see where the source is coming from. It just seems to be almost omnipresent. Like you go to the window, it sounds the same. You go out to the door of the tavern, it sounds the same. If you go outside and walk down the street a little bit, it sounds the same. Like you can't really tell where the direction is. It just seems to be everywhere.
I'm going to
Before-
take to the sky.
Before I succumb to
Okay.
sleep, I'm going to tell Buckley to stand guard.
Buckley will do that. He does not seem to be falling asleep. He's a construct.
Right.
He's immune to being exhausted, poisoned, or charmed.
All right, you take to the sky. After you get above like the tallest tower, you no longer hear it.
Okay. I'm going to come back down and do circles to see if it intensifies at any point.
When you drop back down, as you drop back down lower than the tallest tower, you now hear it again. And as you kind of fly through and around the towers and maybe through the streets a little bit, it doesn't seem like to get any louder in any location. It just
So
seems
it's
to
like
be
in a dome type of
there.
thing.
Kind of.
I'm going to
It's just there.
visually search for clues of it.
Okay. Roll me your investigation.
Investigation. Okay, so that would be a plus 16 or
Okay.
plus 6 to a plus 6. So 26. I rolled
20.
a natural 20.
Nice. 26. All right. With a 26, you're going to go around a little bit and you have the tiara. When you
Yeah.
finally make it to what looks like maybe a central, you have the crown. You finally make it to what looks like maybe is the governmental building of sorts. And there you notice invisibly is a rock.
The bird?
No, an
Oh, okay.
actual stone.
Okay.
An actual stone. Why a stone is invisible, you're not really sure, because your tiara will not show you magic. It just shows you what's invisible.
Right. Okay, I will climb down or fly down towards
You're gonna
it.
climb down.
Yeah, climb through the air. He flies through the air with the greatest of ease. That daring young man on the flying
Flying
trapeze.
trapeze.
Guess there are actual words to that song. Anyway,
All right,
I
you
will
you go
glide
down to it.
towards it. Yeah.
All right, you land next to it. Nothing happens.
Right.
It's just an invisible rock. You know it's invisible because of the tiara.
Is there anyone near there?
Nope.
There's no auras about it or anything that I can see.
Only that it's invisible.
Okay. Oh, I'm gonna kick rocks. I mean, I'm gonna try to move the rock.
You kick it. Go, 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 go. Yeah, you can pick it up. It's
Well, actually, I'm as an eagle, so I'm actually going to just roll it.
okay. You roll it. Nothing happens.
Still music coming. Okay. Interesting.
Fix and Cadet. Two of you just
Mhm.
let the sound lull you to sleep.
Do I hear it over the sound of my forge?
Well, this is after you've put away your forge. It kind of
Okay.
comes out. It's like, I don't know. How late do you forge? Like 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock,
Probably 10.
10? That's what I figured. Somewhere around there. It was after you put away the forge and you kind of laid down, then you started to hear it.
Do I feel like my tiredness is unnatural?
It's hard to say. Roll me an insight.
Insight? What is my insight?
You're going to insight yourself.
Yes. How insightful am I of myself?
Know thyself.
To thine own self be true.
I don't got a bad bonus to that. There's my dice. 24.
24. That's pretty cool. Not really. Maybe just a smidgen more. Almost like you're kind of feeling the effects of like, okay, I'm tired, but this is like, okay, I drank chamomile tea like 20 minutes ago, kind of tired. So it does seem to have altered a little bit, but not drastically so.
Chamomile tea, not Klonopin.
Not a Klonopin, no. Klonopin would give you a drastic change. Or Tylenol with codeine. That's me. Every time I have to take a Tylenol with codeine, I'm out.
Also known as Tylenol 3.
Yes.
I've had it many times.
Over
I'm
the link.
allergic to it.
Over the link. Anybody else feeling a bit?
I was gonna say,
tired?
do I get any kind of save on this? Because I've got a pretty decent wisdom.
I mean,
too.
yeah, if you want to fight it, you absolutely can do a wisdom save.
Then yeah, I'm gonna fight it initially till I know what's going on.
All right.
Because mind altering drugs are not my thing.
Mind altering drugs. This is like taking a melatonin.
Um,
I don't know that it would be mind altering.
Well, it's music that's trying to lull me to sleep. I don't trust
It's
it.
music to my ears.
It's music to my ears.
It's 23.
23. All right. You're able to fight it. And again, if you kind of get up and walk around, you realize it's the same loudness. Like no one place in your room is it louder than another. You stick your head out the window, it's not louder outside. Like it's just omnipresent.
It's just there.
It's just there.
Huh.
And do you guys confirm that you guys are feeling the same thing?
Yeah.
basically.
You get a little from Rhonda, from Evangeline.
Evangeline's not confirming anything. She's now, even though she was suspicious.
It only goes up about 100 feet or so. After that, the sound turns off. But I did find an invisible rock down here for some reason.
Do you see anyone on the streets?
No one. It's like everybody else. Maybe this is how the town gets people to sleep. But that's a scary thought too. Because anytime you can control the people, that's not good. So, yeah, I'm the only one out here. I don't see anyone else, right?
Nope.
Okay.
Nobody else on the street.
I'm going to focus. Are there any other members nearby?
Any other members of your group?
Of the Jagged Dream.
Oh, of the Jagged. Oh, okay. You're going to focus on that. You take a moment to focus, and you sense 3 in the lower levels. Actually, I think it's the middle level. The middle level is where you met Shantae or Shanti or yeah. You sense 3 in the middle level. One of which you could probably guess who it might be because you met him. But there's like 2 others down there.
Forsyth, why don't you bring that rock here? See if Kadath can figure out what it's doing. Or if it's just invisible.
Let me check something real quick here. Why did I close that? I didn't want to close that.
The ever annoying problem.
Shania is her
Monday,
name.
Shania?
Shania.
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 I was close.
And Bob.
Bob is the Jagged Dream member. There's a Bob in this city too.
How heavy is this rock?
Position.
It's a position. How what?
How heavy is this rock?
Not heavy at all.
Okay.
The rock itself is like this big.
I have a 16 strength as an eagle.
Oh, you can pick that up, no problem.
Okay, no problem. I will carry the rock back to our lodging.
All right, you carry the rock back. Fix, are you fighting the sleep?
In real life, too.
IRL, give me a wisdom save.
IRL, I'm drinking coffee, so I get at an advantage, right?
+5 on con, maybe.
23.
23. Okay, yeah, you're able to fight it. You're awake. You bring the rock back. You take
An
it to
eagle carrying a rock. That
whomever.
just sounds funny.
We'll get it to Kadath somehow.
All right, easy enough. Kadath, you have a window. Just watch out for the rock.
Now watch out for flying rocks.
You get a rock in your room
Yeah,
and
throw
an
it
eagle
through Kadath's window.
outside. Thunk.
And I follow it in.
All right.
So why do I have a rock?
It's invisible.
I'll revert form and
Why do
then
I have an
say,
invisible
Oh yeah,
rock?
you hear a kathunk because you can't actually see it right now.
actually,
Well,
I found this rock out there. It's invisible, and that just doesn't make sense to me. And I'm wondering if it has anything to do with the funny music going on.
An invisible rock?
Uh-huh.
Sounds suspicious.
Evangeline is in La La Land.
That's what I thought. It was very suspicious.
any magic on it other than the invisibility?
Good question. Need to detect magic and see what I find.
You find definitely illusion, which you expected because of the invisibility.
Yeah.
You also find,
Are you sure it's not abjuration?
I am positive that invisibility is illusion. The other one, however, I'm looking up. Give me a minute.
I'm assuming it's going to be enchantment.
I would think that it's enchantment, honestly. I just wanted to check the spell. Okay, that spell is not in here. I'm going to assume enchantment.
The question is
Your
this
ribbon.
innate to the rock, or did someone put this on
My
the
ribbon.
rock?
It's abjuration.
It's abjuration. Everything is abjuration. Sorry.
Oh my gosh.
All right. You also find that there is an enchantment on it.
Okay. So abjuration and enchantment.
No, illusion and enchantment.
So illusion and abjuration. Got it.
No, abjuration is on the stone.
Abjuration and abjuration.
Abjuration. That's right.
Abjuration.
Abjuration and abjusion.
That's why he's my favorite brother-in-law.
Okay. So there's definitely an enchantment on this thing. Definitely illusion. I mean, the illusion makes sense with the invisible. Invisibility.
I have a solution.
But if the city relies on this thing for something, for some reason, I don't want to go changing something that might be for a good reason.
Why would a city officials put an enchantment on a rock and not on some other actual installation?
I don't know.
They actually need to rest 8 hours a night.
Maybe we should ask them.
Rhonda's dreaming about being interrupted in her sleep.
Maybe we should go ask them instead of
There's no way I could sleep like
assuming
this.
and
Ask
whatnot.
them why they tried to force us to sleep.
Well, ask them
Force us
why.
into a vulnerable position.
Ask them why they may need to force their people to sleep. I don't know. I mean, they're. It's possible, however unlikely, that there's a good reason for it.
I can think of no reasonable reason for them to force people to sleep and take away people's free will.
Well,
He's
I
such
don't
a
know.
goody-goody.
Without asking them what their reason is, I don't know what the reason would be.
Maybe what we need to do is go find out who's awake,
Yeah.
Well, there's a simple
because
solution.
if they're forcing everyone else to sleep, chances are someone's awake.
Yeah, we can't be the only people who were able to avoid this.
Compared to the majority of the town, we're a bit beyond what they are capable of.
Well, yeah, but still, it's possible, depending
gotta-
on who's here.
Somebody's wired with caffeine.
I mean, I just think it's a good idea to at least investigate
Told you
first.
they'll keep me up.
And if we find something we don't like, then we deal with it, just like we always do. Probably by replacing them with a ruler we like, just like every town.
Yeah. Okay. Well, easy solution.
Don't like who's
Let's
in
head-
charge? Just replace them.
Easy solution. Let's head to the
We're gonna run
City
out of
Hall.
people willing to run cities that we'd like.
that we like.
People
We
are
don't
the
have to
city.
like them. We just have to be able to control them.
Yeah, you left somebody in charge of Uxfin that you probably don't have control over.
I don't remember who that is.
I don't know.
Isn't that where Strolduck is?
No, he's in Charmon.
Or was it that the slave
That-
city?
That was the slave city.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, well, we're gonna go
It
deal
wasn't
with
him,
that.
it was the other guy that we killed.
Yeah, and then the
Yeah,
chick
but that
betrayed us.
Did she betray you?
It seemed like she betrayed us, which we're going to have to confirm before we kill her. Don't know that whether she did or not is going to change that outcome, but hey.
She
Never know.
had to maintain her cover.
All right. So what are you doing?
I guess first thing I'm gonna do is go try to wake up Evangeline.
Takes you a little bit, but she wakes up. You can wake her up.
What? I was in the middle of the best dream about. Never mind.
You
Good.
can dream about Gavian later.
Thick says, I don't want to know. Stop there.
And then head to city council or wherever the leadership
All right.
is.
You head to the hall that kind of Forsyth found this stone in front of. You go up to the door. The door is shut. It is locked.
I start pounding on it.
All right. After a moment or two, I had to find a name. After a moment or two, the door, you kind of hear like a bar. It seems like it might be like enforced with a bar. You hear a bar get removed, and the door opens about yay wide. You definitely see somebody kind of in guard uniform.
Does he look like he was sleeping?
No.
Having trouble sleeping?
No, it is my watch. I would be strung and quartered if I fell asleep on my watch.
That has
So-
fun.
Do you hear the
Written all
Do you
over it.
hear the music?
I do.
Who's responsible for it?
That would be our leader.
Well, you need to wake him up.
Take me to your leader.
I don't think
Following
she
Like,
would
what, did you
like
say
to
that
be
in
woke up
D&D?
right now.
Well,
This song affects her too.
we
Well-
didn't like to be attempted to be put to sleep.
Yeah, well, if you haven't heard, Nyleash went through a very big civil war lately.
I'm intimately aware.
Yeah, we kind of know quite a lot about it, actually. More than most.
How and why is none of your concern.
You're not making a good case for me to let you in.
Anyway,
Mm,
what's the name of this she leader?
The leader is Mata Levis.
What?
Yep,
Mata
exactly.
Mata?
Mata Levis.
Syllabus?
MADA. Hyphen. She has a hyphenated name.
So
Just
we're
like
on the third tier?
most people in the city. You are on the You are on the upper tier. The third tier. I don't remember
Third
if
tier.
it's.
Okay, they go
But it's the
up.
upper one.
As they go
Sure.
up, they
1,
go
2,
higher
3.
in numbers.
Yep.
Okay.
You're at the third tier. I don't remember which order they number them actually, but
This doesn't
you're on
make
the upper
any
one.
sense.
How about you wake
MADA
her up?
hyphen LIVISS.
I have her on here,
Oh, okay. All right.
but I
Mata
also
Levis.
have Galago as being on the first tier.
Oh, sorry. He's on the third tier. He's on the upper level. Yep, it is indeed. I must have told you wrong the first time. So yes, it does start from the bottom with 1. So third tier is the top level.
Let me make a note.
Why don't you wake her up, or I will spend the rest of my evening finding these and dispatching them.
Finding. Do you hold out the stone?
No, I don't have it.
Finding what? Finding
The
what? He says.
The sources of this enchantment.
All right, fine. I'll let you in. I don't know where the sources of this enchantment is. He opens the door.
Just
Lets you in.
picture this little like dwarf looking up at this tall guard like
I squish you.
squish you like a bug.
Fine, whatever. Whatever will get you out of the street. Come.
Wise choice.
He'll let you in. He'll shut the door. He doesn't rebar it because, you don't belong here and he's hoping to kick you out before too long.
he's welcome to
Good
try.
luck.
And he is very human looking. You've noticed there's something a little funky with his eyes, and he has something weird with his ears. His eyes almost look almost glazed over. It has kind of an opalescent hue over his eyes, and his ears are smaller. Like, I mean, they look like human ears, but the actual opening is a lot smaller.
Eyes sort of like Riddick.
Yeah, kind of.
Is it a race I would recognize? Having studied races?
I
No,
think they're mutations.
yeah, by all rights, he looks human. This might be mutations. This might be some mutations because Nyliesh is full of most people who have mutations.
Right.
So you're thinking these are probably mutations of some kind.
Many of them inflicted on purpose.
Many of them inflicted on purpose. Yep.
Yeah.
By choice. Many
Porpoises.
of them. He says, "Come." He will lead you to like a small room that has like table and chairs. He says, "Come," and I hesitate to awake Mata Levis.
Well, that sounds like a personal problem.
These stones, these sources of this song, was put into place after the Civil War. It quelled much of the attempts to wreak havoc at night. And currently, I can't say that they will be there forever. I highly doubt it, knowing Mata Levis. But
Remind me again why your town was on the brink of civil war?
Because of Gay Voreth. Did I give you that name?
Yeah,
The
head of the first tier and somewhat ruler.
yes, he's actually head of the third tier and somewhat ruler. You gotta flip that. He was more of a I don't know, dictator of sorts. Definitely kept a class system.
And
Made it
forced-
illegal for people to pass between tiers, except for certain purposes. Was betrothed to a young lady who definitely did not want to be betrothed to him. And
That's not nice.
he also pushed for the whatever the religious class here is. I forget what their name was. Yeah. And definitely supported them in forcing the mutations upon those that did not wish to have mutations.
So taking away people's free will,
Yes, he was.
and you're just going to continue doing so. But your reason is benevolent.
For the time being.
Theoretical benevolence.
Theoretical benevolence.
Yeah.
I
Because
tend to see when people have power over others, they don't end it ever willingly.
When did you hear the song?
I'll give them the time. 10:42. I don't remember.
You would have it precise.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
give
it was
him the
fixed one.
exact time.
Yeah.
He says, fallen asleep or not fallen asleep, it would have ended by midnight.
But
It
it
is
is
a-
still control.
It is a measure in which, much like a curfew,
do you think this is fair on the people? Taking away free will?
I think the people are okay with it. Nobody comes.
Do
Do
they
the
know
people
of it?
actually know?
They all hear it, even in the lowest
Do they
tier.
know?
That's not what I asked.
I would imagine that they know this was new since the Civil War. We have sent out messengers and couriers. If they chose not to deliver the message, that is.
What do these messages state?
They state that the song will ease rest, ease emotion, stress, tension. Did you not feel it calming?
No.
Well,
I did, but I didn't like it.
then you've got bigger issues.
Well, I don't like it when things are attempting to calm me, and it's from outside sources that are not under my control. I like to be calmed when I choose to be calmed,
Well,
not when it's chosen for me.
I want calm. I'll take some chamomile.
and many of our citizens do that, just that.
And that is
But
their choice. There was no warning to us as we entered this city.
we shall rectify that. We don't get many visitors.
That would be wise.
Would you want to visit somewhere where they tried to control you?
Well,
Asking for a friend.
I visit nowhere because, quite frankly, I'm not welcome anywhere except for pretty much here in Nyliesh. So when I'm able to travel, I'll let you know.
But we're looking to change that.
Yeah, it's on our to-do list.
That would be great. I would not mind to see the world.
We want people to be able to see the world.
We've seen the world. It's fun.
It's an interesting place. Not a great place,
Most
but it's
fun
an
places are
interesting place.
wherever we go.
I can see that. Of course, they're the most fun places. Do you go to every city and disrupt them like this?
Not
I
everyone.
don't feel we're disrupting anything.
We didn't disrupt Thrice at all.
Eh,
Not
Maybe.
not to an extreme
much.
amount, just a little bit. I could have
Look.
sworn there was another city we've been to where we didn't disrupt anything.
We
If
didn't
it,
disrupt anything in Key.
Sure, we did.
yeah, you did.
Oh yeah, that's right, we did.
We did a lot of
Shallow
disruption in Key.
We didn't do much in Shallow Town.
That's
Oh,
true.
there you go, there you
have
go.
not disrupted Shallow Town yet.
Because Shallow kind of has that town under lock and key,
Yeah.
but in a good way. Unlike here. Dum dum dum.
Is it? Is it in a good way?
Unlike here.
Ugh.
I feel
You
we
know-
brought peace to a lot of towns.
Well, that is good.
Yeah.
And so has Mara Levis.
Okay, if you say so.
And in time, probably soon, we have had no incidences of late. This song will be no more.
So are you saying that the next time we come through this town, if it is still here, then we can raise a fuss?
As long as the next time you visit this town is not tomorrow.
Now you're asking a lot.
I can wake Mara Levis. But it would be better to wait till morning
Why?
because she doesn't like her sleep disrupted any more than anybody else.
I don't like sleep forced upon me. So, what can I say?
Tell you what, why don't you arrange breakfast with her in the morning? We shall come discuss this situation.
I can do that. I will put it on her calendar as soon as you leave.
8 a.m. then.
That
8
would be
a.m..
wise.
So be it. She will be awake and ready to receive your company.
Good.
Evangeline keeps cutting her eyes at Fix.
Why am I getting eyeballed?
I'm getting the evil eye.
Seem to remember somebody purposefully causing chaos in the town.
I did no
Wasn't
such
me.
thing.
You did no such thing.
Purposefully.
But your predecessor
Your
did.
predecessor did. Seems like to me you had a brother here.
It was for a good reason. I think, maybe.
Do you?
At least
Now?
you said it
Do
was.
you really?
It was for a good reason. Which is why I don't want to see more it go back to being
The way it was.
a dictatorship. So Fix will
He'll-
start.
Yeah, I was gonna say he'll
Evangeline
lead you back to
is
the door.
failing to see the balance or the truth in this. Maybe because she was forced to sleep and forced to get up.
I've had it both ways. I don't like it either.
You
Either
love
way.
the black kettles.
All right, he'll lead you back to the door and
Oh.
see you out.
And for the calendar entry, put it under Lord Trinston.
Very well.
And he'll walk out. Very obvious that he is not happy.
He's irritated.
Yes.
All right.
Lord Trinston, the irritated.
The irritated. Note to self. All right, he sees you out. After you guys leave, the door shuts. You hear the bar replaced. The song is still playing, although at this point you all have resisted it. You could stay awake all night if you wanted to, or you can go back to the inn and sleep,
Song is ended, but the melody.
or you
lives
can wait till
on.
midnight. Yep, song's over. Okay, he wasn't lying. Then go to sleep.
I'm not going to be that mean.
I'll go back to the inn, climb back in my bed,
Go back to sleep.
and go back to sleep.
Pix will go to sleep eventually once the music has stopped.
Okay, it'll be about midnight when it stops. And you have an invisible stone, Kadeth, that the whole time glows of illusion and enchantment. The guard seemed absolutely unaware that you even have it. Matter of
Okay.
fact, he mentioned himself. He's like, I don't even know where these are.
Right. Okay.
I think we should take it with us. So every night it goes off and we sleep.
And you have a
Whenever there's
strut
a long
eagle
rest.
that walks around with you.
Nothing wrong with a long rest at the right times.
All right, you guys go
If I
back to
need
the room then.
rest, I'll have some chamomile tea.
The inn will have chamomile tea if you need it. You get your sleep in. It's going to count as a long rest. Guys can get a long rest. And in the morning, when you head back shortly before 8, the doors to the hall is open. The song, of course, is not playing. The stone is still glowing of invisibility and enchantment. If you have that at no, you don't have that at will, do you?
What?
Detect magic?
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
Oh, okay. I was getting this character confused with a different character, I guess.
I do not have it at will.
Okay.
I don't know which ones will.
I don't have it at all.
At all?
At Will, at John, at anybody.
Yeah.
At
At
anybody.
anybody.
So yeah, it still glows of illusion and enchantment. You can't see it, but you can see the glow around it. Forsyth can see it. And you head back over to the hall just before 8. Doors are open. You see that guard there, standing there, kind of yawning a little bit. And he's like,
Walk up. And whereas Fix was probably in his apron the previous night,
yeah,
this morning
probably.
he's actually in his armor.
He's actually in armor. Okay. You dressed for the occasion this morning.
We didn't change my clothes at all.
Interesting. Mata Levis is awaiting your arrival. He'll lead you to another room, not the room that you were in before, but another room that has a fine dining table and beautiful fixtures. I want to see if they give me a description of her. I don't know if they do or not. She is not in the divided seas. She is also not in the plains. Oop, there she is. All right. You see her sitting there. She's quite lithe. She is has an unearthly beauty. Wait. Yep, an unearthly beauty, despite she does have, as you see her kind of rise when you guys enter, she does have 6 fingers on each hand. Mata Levis is old. She definitely looks more feeble. She kind of hunches just a little bit, but she seems to be well within her physical means. She stands.
I
She
will
says,
tell Fix over the telepathy. That's why she needs her sleep every night. She's old.
I can't deal with this crap. Y'all sleeping so we can talk about it in the morning. She stands and she nods to the guard. Guard steps off to the side. She says, I assume you are Lord Trenson?
Yes.
Please come. Your group as well. Come. You can see trays kind of already set out on the table with meats and cheeses and some pastries and things like that.
I'll take a seat. And I don't know. If nobody else introduces themselves, Fix would probably introduce them by their titles.
All right.
If they don't give him a weird look, he's waiting to see if he's going to get eyeballed by Evangeline again.
Please don't be in trouble. Please don't be in trouble. All right. High Priestess. She'll nod to you, Evangeline, High Priestess.
Hi, priestess.
Sorry, guys.
Master of your order?
I'll just nod.
And by what title were you introduced, Forsyth? Were you introduced by a title? Did you give him one, Fix, just out of the blue, like, and this is?
Master Troublemaker?
Just in case.
Just in case.
The other guy.
The other guy, she will.
That's actually a line out of an Underdog episode. Just in
Nice.
case.
Just in case.
What form is Forsyth in right now?
Oh, I would be in almost near human form.
Right, but is it a form that has a name of its own?
Not really. It's pure. It's almost purely a human form. So there's no real name to it.
Oh, hug him and squeeze
You
him
will.
and name him George.
Yeah.
Then it will be Lord George.
Lord George. All right, Lord George.
George.
Georgia jungle.
And she will sit down. She says, "Please, help yourself." And she'll kind of snap her finger, and somebody will come over and kind of pour some juice. Doesn't seem to be alcoholic in any way, but like a fruit
Fun
juice.
in that.
I'll put some whiskey in it.
It's
He is a dwarf.
it's breakfast, and she says, "So, what was it that you wanted to speak to me of so early in the morning?"
This town got rid of one dictator, and it seems like you're on the path to doing the same. If you think forcing people to slumber is acceptable.
I see. Slumber was the best way to stop most of the incursions, as they are emboldened in the late hours. Not all people sleep, just most, myself included. It's quite peaceful.
Peaceful or not, it is still against their will.
For the time being. Think of it as a curfew of sorts. I don't know what is up with your mic, dear.
I don't know. It must be my mute switch.
Yeah, I think it is. There's probably a short in it or something.
Probably. I need new headset.
Curfew indicates you don't trust your own people.
Well, there are more than a handful. The religion. What was the name again?
Fahat.
Fahat.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, I've heard of him.
The Fahat can be quite persistent. Many of their forced mutation ceremonies happen in the late hours at night. We are trying to what's the word?
Clean it up.
Disciple them in the ways of those that are not mutated.
You think though that sounds more like oppression?
Well,
Whether
yes,
or not
they are
people
definitely.
whether or not people want to be mutated should be their choice. Forcing them to do so obviously is wrong. So isn't there a diplomatic means in which you can coexist with the Fahat?
Oh, we are in talks, but in the meantime, I can't have this happening.
Talk faster.
Do you not have the means to enforce your laws?
I mean, sure. And I can enforce our laws just like I enforce the sleep that doesn't affect all, just like my laws, even if I enforce them, are not going to affect all. There are still going to be some that sweep around it and do other things. But I do what I can. And in the meantime, this is for lack of better terms, the most humane way to keep things under wraps, under control until our talks are finished and we come to some conclusion, some compromise.
And if you come to none,
Well, if we come to none, then we will have to take a different approach. We'll deal with it then.
you keep saying this is temporary. How temporary?
Well, hopefully it'll be done soon.
Soon, temporary. None of these are specific times.
Well, of course they're not specific times. You be in diplomatic communication with somebody and see how fast it takes you to change the ways of somebody devout in their religion,
Evangeline,
of
do you
which
want
you
to
disagree with.
do you want to explain about the time thing, or do I need to? Why don't you explain to her about the time thing? Because otherwise, I feel like we're just going to run into other problems if she doesn't know about the time thing.
He's pretty specific. He likes the exact times down to the second.
Ah,
So the more precise you can be, the easier this will be.
she will kind of snap her fingers and the guard will leave for a bit. Guard comes back with like a parchment and hands it to her. She unrolls it. We have more talks today and then again tomorrow, and we should come to some kind of conclusion 3 days hence. However, if things like that if we can't come to that conclusion, then we may go into other talks that may take another week, in which case there will be a final decision at the end of another week, and then we'll judge from there. Does that help you any at all?
Sounds very
Iffy.
Diplomatic.
ineffective.
Same
Iffy
thing.
at best.
Changing people's opinions does take time. And then she'll look at Evangeline. You are of the Order of Truth, are you not?
I am.
Your robes say so.
Yes.
I do find it interesting that a high priestess of the Order of Truth does dine at my table who is a mutant, or mutated, of some capacity I have. More fingers than a human should. Yet she dines with me. Do all of the Order of Truth believe in this?
Not yet.
It takes time.
The ones that are important do.
And the rest will come around eventually.
Yes, and until the meantime, when the ones of importance have now understood and has been convinced of the matter of free will on the choice to be mutated or not, after the important ones have come to this,
It took us
then
47 minutes
we move forward. Took you 47 minutes for what?
to convince the ones that were important to change their minds.
Evangeline will kind of flex her position a little bit. As a high priestess of the Order of Truth, I see a timeline of approximately 3 weeks.
Not much different than our own. I think
Lord
we have an extra
Trimson,
week.
do you not think that it is fair to give them 3 weeks in order to write and put in order their own affairs?
How long has this curfew been in effect?
The curfew has been in effect in
Not that long.
approximately 10 days.
So by the end of it, they will have had more than a month.
Yes, well, peace talks don't happen overnight, especially in ingrained religious beliefs.
Given all I know, as she looks at Fix, it seems reasonable to allow them to fix their own city.
Over the link, but they didn't.
But they're trying.
But they're trying.
But they didn't even get the fix started. We had to do that for them.
Well, it sounded like they were already in talks to do something.
Well, I'm not talking about the fix. I'm talking about the overthrowing. Like they were happy under the dictatorship, and it seems that she's going down a similar path.
Well, that's what it feels like on the outside looking in, but
I do not. I'm going to roll an insight.
Okay.
I'm going to roll an insight on her.
Okay.
I suck at insight, but we're going to give it a shot.
Any of you can roll an insight if you want to. I'm not going to tell you to roll an insight. That's one of those checks that you have to just be like, I want to know if she's telling the truth, or I want to know if she's got, ulterior motives or whatever.
That's an 18.
It's up to you.
I think it might be worthwhile to talk to.
It's an 18. I'm going to insight her.
Okay.
She got a
Mara
really
Levis.
weird name.
Mara Levis.
Mara Levis.
I think it might be
At an
worthwhile to
18.
talk to the townsfolk.
I am looking, inciting to see if there's any true hidden agenda there.
Okay. She, at an 18, you know that she definitely holds things close to the chest, but then most rulers will, especially with visitors. This is not something that totally takes you by surprise. She's not going to lay out all matters of state.
Right.
So that doesn't bother you at all, really. Oh shoot, I keep thinking her description goes on, but it doesn't. She is you get a sense about her that she is a fairly calm, reserved, usually very level-headed, logical type of person. You can tell that she's thinking through things logically, that she's working things out. You also get a sense of a nurturing presence. She is a nurturer. Even so far as to kind of guess that she kind of reminds you of some of the healers of Darkall, just kind of the presence that they give, especially when you would show up with blast marks or who knows what else that's exploded in your face. they give off a sense of calm and reassurance and give you a healing touch. Now she hasn't touched you at all, but you kind of get that same feeling from her. You figure if she had been human and born in Key, she'd probably be in the Dirk Hall and be one of the healers. That's the sense you get from her. She does not seem at all malicious.
Okay. I'm going to telepathically say the chaos that abounded in this town at the hands of your mother was successful in her eyes. This is the person that they were pushing towards. Out of respect for your mother, then I'm going to look at her and say, speaking for the Order of Truth, I feel that the timeline you have given is reasonable to work out an arrangement that is satisfactory for your city.
She'll give you a nod.
Keeping in mind that each should have a choice for their own life. And taking the necessary steps if the Fahad continues to insist upon forcing this issue onto the people.
Indeed.
Wouldn't you say that's fair, Lord Trinston? Do you feel comfortable speaking for the Lords of Key on this matter?
He kind of looks at her like, I've never spoken for the Lords of Key. Like, I speak for the Trinston for myself, and cursorily, sort of, maybe the Trinston estate.
She doesn't know this.
I think that the timeline is acceptable for most. And he'll look at her and say, if you can't come to an understanding with them within this timeline, I request a meeting with everybody. And we will get this taken care of.
And you will mediate.
I will get this taken care
Oh,
of.
fix, mediate. You're forcing your opinion on somebody. Mediate.
Form of mediation.
Fix is very, like, for whatever reason, Fix is pissed that he was, like, they even attempted to make him do something. It's like, to go to sleep. And he's just like, no.
You remind me
Forget
of
this.
No,
A sea captain would have already gone and shot somebody.
Also, I will say to Fix, being the voice of reason makes me very uncomfortable.
Yeah, why are you making her do that?
Don't make her do such things. Very well. Should we not come to an agreement? Or should we come to agreement? Would you be back in 3 weeks hence?
I will do my best.
Very well.
What?
Over the link, I replay the whole shields spreading across the land.
And I just think of a clock.
Tick-tock.
And then I think of it skipping around and not sure what time it actually is.
and I cursorily ignore him.
And then I will say, Forsyth, can you do something with them?
Yeah, but they're not going to like it.
But it's so
That's
much more
okay.
fun this way.
Let's see. Why
Very
didn't
well.
I pick earthquake?
She will eat. She's, please enjoy the meal, and she will continue to eat. And she'll talk about anything random, whatever. If you want to make small talk until breakfast is over, or just eat and leave,
I
eat and
think she'll
run.
take a breath, and then we'll have small talk and kind of calm down on the whole thing.
You can tell
I still
she
want
goes from that conversation right into small talk. No problem.
across the link. I'm going to say I still would like to talk to the town folk and see how they feel about all of this.
Yeah, agreed. At some point.
Because it seems to me like she thinks they're accepting this out of hand. That might not be the truth. I will detect thoughts on her.
All right. Surface thoughts are immediate. That she seems confident. She seems reassured.
Confident and competent.
Uh-huh. She seems reassured. She is thinking about some things. You can tell that she's thinking about ideas of, though they're kind of vague because she's running through them so fast. Some ideas and stuff of what Evangeline mentioned. You know, kind of like, oh, I need to educate the people on how to stand up for themselves, and things like that. You can tell that she's kind of thinking through some of that stuff.
So there's a benevolence behind things.
Oh yeah.
But the question is whether it's actually a beneficial benevolence or a mommy complex.
You might have
Well,
just hit it.
seriously.
Do you dig deeper?
Yeah, I'm going to dig deeper.
I don't know what to say.
Carefully.
I don't know. Oh, I don't even have my dice. What is up with that? There they are. I was like, I'm the DM, and I lost my dice. What's the saving throw?
It's DC 19.
Oh my gosh, that was a horrible
What's
roll.
that?
I don't know that it matters. I rolled a 5. Yeah, she failed.
Unless you have a plus 14, you're in trouble.
Yeah, no, she doesn't have a plus 14 on anything. So she failed. You dig deeper, and you do get the sense that like she's starting to think through. Okay, I need to send out some messengers. I need to spread that mutations are not required. There's not law. It's not, you know, and start pushing the idea of being who you want to be, kind of thing. She's also thinking through some of the ways that she might be able to help and to guide, like even the town guards and whatnot, to watch for coercion, things like that, trainings and whatnot. You do get a sense of she is very motherly.
But she is paying attention to what we're saying.
Yeah, but she is paying attention to what you're saying.
That's the important part. So she can not necessarily be controlled, but at least be influenced to a positive direction. Okay. All right. I will pass along this information to the rest of the group. So we are making an impact here, folks. This is a good thing.
Hopefully.
As breakfast comes to a close, she will see you out. And as she sees you out, she will say, hopefully I can see you in 3 weeks.
I hope so.
Let's
all goes well on our end, yeah.
Excellent. She will say, stay safe on your travels.
There is no guarantee of all going well.
Yeah. Safe is a relative term with us.
And
I
our
don't know that we
relatives are
can-
not all great.
That's fair.
Yes. And I don't know that we can say safe,
We've never been.
but we can overcome it.
What would safe look
We'll
like?
say capable, not necessarily safe.
Okay, may you be successful in your mission. Does that work? May you be
Maybe.
Very kind.
successful.
Thank you.
We can work at that.
Yeah, that might be doable.
Okay. She'll turn around and look at the cards and say, they're so literal.
Oh, you have no idea.
If you go about and talk to the townsfolk, you just randomly run into them and chit chat a little bit and whatnot, you find that actually the majority of the townsfolk, especially up here on the third tier, are kind of like, yeah, since the song's been playing, we're so much more productive during the day. It's like there's no drunken brawls. There's no, it's been peaceful. There's a couple
But
of
do you
people
feel
that,
safe?
yeah, all of them feel safe. Pretty much all of them. Even the ones that are like, I don't like going to bed that early and I really hate it. And, what it is, what it is. It's not supposed to be forever, so I'll just deal. Even they feel safe.
Because safe is an important thing.
Yeah. They don't feel like they're under threat of any kind of attack or.
Do they feel like they are free?
Yeah, they do.
I want to break free.
Fix would also want to go down to the middle level and
Okay.
find the member of the Jagged Dream that he
We were just
is aware of.
supposed to be stopping off for some ink and a rest.
Yeah, but Vic can't help himself.
Oh
I
my
don't think
right.
we ever stuck to what we thought we were doing.
You search out Bob?
Yep.
Okay, he's easy enough to find. You find him about where he was last time. And he kind of, wait, you were not leader of the
I
Jagged
was
Dream.
not. No.
Okay, you find Bob.
I was like, I think we mentioned it or like was trying to get
He
information.
wasn't even a member of the Jagged
Yeah,
Dream.
I was only cursorily aware of it.
You were yeah.
Yeah.
He will greet you, and I think you introduced yourself as Fix, right?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. All right. And he will greet you and he'll say, "Hey, Fix, it's good to see you again." And then he'll stop. And he'll just stare at you for a minute.
Good to
Yep,
see you as
that's
well,
a
Bob.
thing.
What about Bob?
Is there anything that you need?
I need you to truthfully tell me how the people feel about this imposed curfew.
Some people fight it. I'm not gonna lie. Some people fight it. They come to the bars and they try to drink their night away, but they fall asleep anyway. But a majority of people are actually okay with it. It's been pretty quiet down here of late, and a lot of people are finding the benefits of a good long rest is actually a little bit more conducive to their energy. They deal. I mean, they don't want it forever. Even the people who enjoy it don't want it forever. And Mara Levis has definitely promised this will not be forever. And we trust her. First tier always did. We do too.
If that changes, please let me know.
I will immediately.
Good to see you again.
As is good to see you.
And with that, I'll look to Forsyth and say, shall we blow this popsicle stand? If I can talk.
I think we have all the information
Ha!
that we
It's
need.
contagious.
I think we have all the information we need. I think it's I think they're doing good enough, but I would like to check back at some point in the near future because I still don't trust the movement afoot for mutations.
I
But
agree.
not my. I mean, that's down the road. Give them a chance to do it their way, and and if they don't do it right, then we'll do it ours.
Again. Oh, wait.
Still,
As usual.
All right. So
our way
seemingly,
works.
well, that's true. Seemingly satisfied with the progress of the city, or at least the momentary progress of the city,
Our
and
intrepid adventurers.
wanting to check back in later, perhaps after your mission is complete. You head out of the city, I'm assuming, with
Correct.
2 extra vials of ink for Evangeline, and you
Right on.
prop onto Windwalk again
Yeah.
to head toward the Citadel of the Iron Saint. And that is where we're going to take a 10-minute break because I need a biowork. I've been drinking way too much tea.
All right. Well, folks, we'll be right back.
Hey,
And we're back.
You don't give me 2 counts. You just say 3, and then you just go.
Yeah. Yep.
I have to pick my own tempo. All right.
You should know the tempo by now.
Hey,
It's 3,
go.
2, 1, go.
Yeah.
One.
All right, we're back. Group is done annihilation, headed toward the citadel of the Iron State. I am not scratching your belly right now. My dog is laying on her back, staring at me with doe eyes.
You are being a bad human.
I know. I can't even reach her without falling off my stool. So, so the
Just don't
answer's
stub
no.
your toe.
Oh
No
gosh.
more broken toes.
Oh man, that hurts so bad. Okay. You are on your way to the citadel of the Iron Saint. As you fly southward, east, southeast, I don't know, some east.
That
maybe.
direction.
Yeah, that direction. You fly that direction. As you begin to approach, you do see some floating stones. You see one stone that has kind of a glowing sphere at it. It's kind of floating just above the stone. You do see some waterfall coming out of the stone itself, not on top. There's no water on top. But off to the right, left, off to the side, at a cliff, you do see like a structure. There's a building there.
We're essentially clouds, right?
You are
Forsyth?
clouds.
You are muted, senior.
Can you get us into
That's good,
the
'cause I
right at
wasn't
the
talking to
city?
you.
Can we go through the city in this form, or do we have to
Could go over
transform?
the city.
Well, it is a single structure. It's not really a city.
Oh,
And a
okay.
bunch of floating stones.
Gotcha. Well, I guess we'll go
Okay.
to the structure.
But we can drop down at any point.
Yeah.
If I fall asleep, we're going to drop down really hard.
Really fast. It's gonna be painful.
It's a concentration spell for sure.
All right, you drop down, you drop closer. You're gonna go to the actual structure. You're gonna check out the stones. What's the plan?
I'm going to check out these stones.
I think we should go to the structure fix.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, as you fly around the stones, most of these are just stones. However, there is the one with the glowing sphere kind of hovering above it. Seems to be shielded in some way. You can't quite see through it. It's like an opaque shield. Oh wait, you have the tiara, don't you?
Yeah.
All right. As you fly by that one in your cloud form, you see 4 humanoid people. Appears to be 2 men, 2 women, sitting on opposite sides, kind of each other, around the stone. They seem to be sitting there, kind of in a meditative pose.
I say, do you guys see that?
No, we can't. I can't see through the sphere.
There's
Yeah, none
two
of you can
guys
see
and 2
through it.
girls sitting around this stone contemplating. I'm not sure what they're contemplating, but rock on.
As soon as I'm not in physical form at the moment, I can't cast my own true seeing.
I will mentally call out to them using telepathy.
You get as close as you can without hitting the barrier, and you kind of call out to them. Do you pick one in particular, or do you try to blanket statement?
I'm gonna just I'll pick the biggest male. Because
Okay.
it makes sense.
The
I say,
biggest
"Hey,
male.
what you
Go
doing?
ahead. Um,
Hey, what you doing?
hey. Um,
Poke.
I'm not
he
touching
kind of
you.
he kind of twitches just a little bit. You see that he's an older gentleman. He's got he's got blonde hair that maybe has some grays in it. definitely looks human. And he kind of twitches just a little bit. And then he goes back to what he's doing. It's almost like he heard, but doesn't quite comprehend. His mind is elsewhere, in essence. You kind of tickled the back of his mind, and then he went back into whatever he was doing.
Did the barrier fluctuate at all when that happened?
Didn't seem to.
Okay, since I'm already within 30 feet of him, I'm going to detect thoughts.
Okay. Surface thoughts. You get like a list of ingredients, like I don't know, like eggs and spices and I don't know, a vegetable, a root vegetable, a potato, whatever. You're kind of getting like a list of ingredients flying through the head. You're not quite sure what he's thinking about, but
Stew?
stew.
It sounds like he's thinking about stew, but let me dig deeper because, hey, there's no way to offend him if he's not going to pay attention to me.
Right? All right, so you're going to dig deeper. What is the
19.
19? That's not what I need. That's not what I need.
No, what you need is a low roll.
What I need is my stats.
Oh, you were that close?
I got a 16. No, my roll itself was not that close. All right. You dig a little deeper, and on top of those ingredients, you hear almost like a plan for impressing somebody. Like, apparently, this meal is going to impress somebody so that he can get something that he wants.
Okay.
Maybe a
Interesting.
girl.
Or maybe a leader. Okay.
Seems like he's into making deals. He's going to be bargaining something.
Okay. But why make a stew to bargain with someone? That doesn't.
Well, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're starving, a stew is a great bargaining chip.
Yeah, true. Red pottage. Been done.
And if he knows his
Who he's bargaining with.
client or his,
Yeah.
maybe he knows that person loves stew.
True. Jacob loves stew. Anyway, okay, so we'll chalk this up to other people are trying to get in here, but they don't have necessarily the direct means, and they're trying to buy their way in. That's what it sounds
to
like.
me the lights are on, but no one's home.
Okay. Just for funsies, I will telepathically reach out to one of the women and say, "What are you guys doing here?"
What's for dinner?
What are you doing? Oh,
What you doing? You will see the woman.
What's that?
Which one? There's a red-headed woman and a dark-haired woman.
We're going to the dark-haired.
Okay. But you kind of tickle the dark-haired woman. She seems, appearance-wise, she seems the youngest of all four of them.
That would be the one to go to.
And you kind of tickle her, and you ask what you're doing, and she twitches. And she actually she opens her eyes, and actually begins to look around.
Okay. You might not be able to see me, but I can see you. I'm curious as to what you're doing here.
I am meditating.
Okay. For what reason?
She's still looking around.
Ah, behind you.
She turns. She almost looks through you unless you make a motion. Do you make
Oh,
motion?
I'll wave.
Okay, so the cloud starts to move around a bit, and she will focus then on the cloud. And you will
Yeah,
hear
that's
her.
us.
You will hear her say, Baragos. And then the gentleman you twitched before
Yeah.
kind of startles and opens his eyes and looks at her. He's like, we got company.
Guess who's coming to dinner?
um, he will stand up and join her. I am going to, let's see if I can remove this. There we go. In Owlbear.
Right. Just opening it now.
Yep. There is an area here. Making
Right.
my movements as big as possible. This is what you're staring at. There are 4 people, 2 of which are still in a, hey, don't move my creatures around. 2 of which are still kind of in a trance. Baragos, who you know his name of,
All right.
is moving over to the young lady. And she kind of tells him, she's like, he wants to know what we're doing here. I told him we are meditating. And then you asked her another question. What did you ask her?
Meditating on what?
Oh, on what we are meditating, he asks. And Aragos says, that is for... No. Come to the house. And he will kind of point toward the structure. We will discuss this there.
Okay, we can do that. We'll meet you there.
And you will see the 2 of them as you're kind of flying away. You will see the 2 of them kind of going toward the other 2.
Okay.
The other, well, Fix and Evangeline, Cadeth, what did you do? Did you go toward the house or did you hang out with Forsyth?
Probably hanging out with Forsyth if he's the only one there.
Okay. So.
Watching his back.
All right.
For the moment.
So you heard and saw all of that. Evangeline and Fix, you head over to the structure, which is just below this, by the way. You head over to the structure. Doing a cursory flyby, you see gardens. They're very beautiful, well-tended gardens. You see 2 creatures of which you've never seen before, kind of milling about the garden. They have 4 legs, a tail. They have tusks that come out of their mouth with very sharp teeth. And they seem to be purple in color where skin is exposed. Kind of, they don't have a whole lot of fur on their legs or tail. They have more scale there. But across their back, there is fur. It's white fur. And it almost kind of reminds you of something like a polar bear or something of that nature. They do have wings. Both of these creatures have wings, very similar to what you would think of, like a dragonfly almost. Both of them have 4 wings that seem to kind of flutter every now and then together, but they do seem to have very much independence of one another. Like they can move all 4 at different times, which you figure just from knowing how birds work, that probably gives them a lot of mobility in the air. And if you look close enough, you do see almost an energy pulse about them. They don't seem to take note of you at this moment in cloud form for sure.
Can I have one as a pet, Evangeline?
I highly doubt it. But I suppose if you can subdue it. After all, your mother and brother have drakes.
I know, right? I need a flying creature too.
Although
They are
they're not
medium
very
in size.
pretty.
Not very
But are
pretty.
they
That's true.
effective?
Well,
One way
with
to
those
find
wings, they probably are accurate. They probably hit their target fairly easily. They might be very graceful. I don't know.
As you watch them, they kind of move about a little bit. You notice immediately that they are not walking.
They're fluttering.
Hmm.
Well, glad we're clouds.
Do you think they're guarding this place?
Does it look like they are walking a perimeter?
If you watch them for a little while, they seem to just kind of meander a little bit. That they might go over and eat a flower, or move over to a tree, but they do stay in that area. They are meandering, but they do stay in that area. So if they seem to be guarding it, they're guarding an area, not necessarily taking intelligent per se, like rotations or anything.
No.
Do you think that there's an orrery inside this building?
Does it look like the building is big enough to hold the orrery?
The building is definitely big enough to hold the orrery,
Maybe.
but it definitely looks newer.
This is one of the
Newish.
ones we're supposed to
Repair?
according to what you and I have
Yes.
seen.
Somewhere in this area, yes. Does it look like, based on the calculations that we did before, does it look like this would be the right place for the orrery?
Based on the calculations, you are in definitely the right area, but this building definitely looks more new. It does not look ruined. It does
But
not look
they could have
destroyed.
built on top of ruins.
They could have built on top of it. But that glowing sphere also is a little.
But the 4 people, they were just sitting and there was nothing in there with them.
Mm-mm.
Correct, Forsyth?
Well, just the hovering sphere. It looked like there was a sphere of energy hovering above them.
But
That's
no
what
signs of an orrery necessarily, or mechanisms of an orrery.
But they may know where. Does Forsyth let us know that they're headed to the building?
Oh yeah, I would have said that they're
Oh,
planning on joining us there.
I say we wait and ask them.
Yeah.
All right. So all of you come to the courtyard.
Yeah.
All right. They seem to leave the platform, or they all leave the platform all at once. They kind of come over here. You can now see that the 4 of them, they all look human, 2 male, 2 female. They are all wearing robes of some kind. 2 two of them are kind of wearing dark robes, black, maybe dark blue. One of them's wearing more of a red robe, and the other one's wearing more of a green robe. Um, the one guy that you know as Oragos has blonde hair, blue eyes. Um, the other guy has dark hair. His eyes kind of give off a little bit of a glimmer. The two females, one has red hair, one has dark hair. They all seem to be walking that way. It seems to be the guy and the girl that you first talked to are leading the direction. Although you're not quite sure how they came onto this platform, it seemed like they just kind of appeared here. You're assuming that possibly they teleported, or they dimension door, or they
Misty step.
vortex warped, or they did something.
There's a lot of ways.
Yeah.
They could have come in by plant.
They use magic in some manner to end up there.
Or technology, which is magic that we still don't understand.
In some or technology.
You cannot vortex warp yourself.
Okay, then they didn't, unless they vortex warped each other at the same time. I don't know. But they managed somehow to travel the distance.
Teleportation circle.
There's lots of ways to teleport.
Yep.
More
fun to walk.
So do you guys change out of cloud form?
Oh
Once
yeah,
they've
we'll
arrived,
come down.
Yeah.
Once you land, you change out of cloud form and you meet them.
Oh yeah, because I want to be able to have my full complement of spells, except that one slot.
Okay. Do you want to meet? Where do you want to meet? They're going to walk across, and they're just going to come to the fountain where they see you guys kind of landing and coming in. They're just going to come over here, and you're going to see the other gentleman kind of. He's going to give a little bit of a whistle, and you're going to see these guys perk up, and he will move away. He will come down here. So that you guys can come in and not be in their way.
Lead the way, Forsyth.
Sure.
Walk on up to the fountain.
Yeah, I will.
All right.
Okay.
As you approach, Borgos will give you a look, and seeing now that there is more than just the one cloud that was talking to them, and possibly another that was floating nearby.
I'm gonna move Chuck.
You're gonna move Chuck? Okay.
I was gonna move, but that's fine.
I wanna watch you move.
I'm going to very carefully come up and say, hi, I'm Forsyth. I was the one talking to you. Well met.
Well met. There is more of you than I anticipated.
Well, there are 4 of you. There are 4 of us and our friendly construct. We travel seeking knowledge, helping people, meeting the needs of people. And it was curious to see you sitting there contemplating, but I was curious as to what you were contemplating and how we might be a help to you or a benefit to you.
He kind of looks at the other 3.
Of course, they'll notice that I'm the youngest in this group.
You definitely look the youngest.
I definitely look the youngest.
He will look to the other 3. It seems for a moment they seem to be communicating.
Okay.
And
I'll go telepathically. We can do that too.
True. I could listen in, but I think it might be a little rude.
Just a little bit.
He then returns and says, well, I don't know that you will be of help to us.
That depends.
Well, maybe you could be of help to us.
Oh, what is it you seek?
We seek an
This
orb.
is my friend Fix, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
He's good at fixing things.
Good at fixing things. Okay. You seek an orrery.
The orrery that was here when this city was first built.
The other gentleman will kind of look at you. You see now why his eyes glimmered. He actually has kind of gold eyes, like they shimmer in the light. He says, "You know much of history?"
Not as much as my tall, burly friend there, but enough.
We each have our specialties.
Mine is being a pain in the neck.
Actually,
Oh wait, that's mine. Yours is fixed.
Actually,
Actually,
what
it's not in this book.
what
It's in this
city
book. That's what I
does
was
this
looking up.
obelisk? I forget the name of it.
So this is the city of. Do you know that the city was once a grand city in the Second Age?
which one?
That's what I'm
We
digging
would
up
know that.
now.
I would know that. I have it written on a map.
Oh,
And we
crap.
know that the orreries were all in grand cities.
Idris. This was once
Idris
the city
Elba?
of Idris.
Once.
Well, this portion was never Idris. This was built here by our ancestors. You can tell he definitely paused there, like he was communicating for a second. This was built by our ancestors. The floating stones, as most monoliths around this world, are what's left of Idris.
The citadel of the Iron Saint.
Yes.
And what was the purpose of this that your ancestors built?
Oh, there is great energy here. It is beneficial to us.
And what is us?
Is,
The
is
court.
this the is this grounds the castle that it's tethered to?
Not technically.
Is it below? More on the ground.
What is?
The castle that it is tethered to.
Oh, the castle itself is on a cliff. Um, they're like the castle and the floating stones are technically not related.
They're just tethered together.
Yes.
Well, that still indicates some kind of relationship between them.
Mostly because of us.
Because of you? Because of you? Or
Us.
because of your ancestors?
Because of the court.
Because of the
Court
what?
of what?
You can see that they're kind of like, go ahead. He says, we are called the Soul Court. Soul. S-O-U-L.
Do you
Not
pass
SOLE
judgment
like
on
the fish.
souls? Or
No, do not pass judgment. He gets a little bit of a smirk.
and what do you do with souls?
We do nothing with souls except watch.
Have you been watching us?
No, we have not. We were quite intrigued when we were interrupted by Forsyth. Did not realize there was many of you. We used to be 5. We are now 4.
Where's your 5th?
Our
They
5th.
drank it.
Got a little hammered that night. we haven't seen him since. Our 5th passed on.
These things happen.
My condolences.
Thank you. But we have been on search for a 5th.
We're kind of busy right now.
Well, we would gladly get out of your way as soon as we have access to the orrery.
The orrery. Oh yes, the orrery. The orrery is not here in our building. If the orrery still is functional, as according to the historical documents of Idris, it most likely is on the stone from whence we came.
You seem to have a way to traverse.
Yeah, we generally teleport each other. We take turns, as is needed.
It's very ineffective or inefficient.
It's inefficient to teleport?
Well,
Teleport each
definitely
other.
Oh,
Oh no,
Like,
we take turns teleporting the group of us.
Oh,
Why
I
we're
thought like
all here, not
okay.
Okay,
I
I'll teleport
misunderstood.
you. You teleport
Yeah,
him.
yeah,
yeah,
you teleport him. And then
that-
Well,
no.
I think if both Evangeline and Rhonda were confused when Fix said and Joe said that it's inefficient to teleport.
I was thinking like we teleport each other. Like I don't know what ability to teleport they have.
No.
It could have been like vortex warp, where they have to vortex warp each other over.
Yeah, no. No, we take turns teleporting.
Understood.
All of us.
You're obviously powerful enough. Can you not just fly?
We could. We have.
Thinking, Fix is obviously thinking on the effect
Multiple teleportation.
of multiple teleportations and spell slots per day because adventurers have to actually use them for something.
All
Well,
they
you are
do is
discovering
fly.
quite quickly that they might not ever leave.
That seems sad.
You seem to be knowledgeable of the histories. Do you know what the orrery was first in place for?
At this time, he'll kind of look over at the red-headed girl. She'll say, the orreries of old were used to shield and protect.
Tell us something we don't already know.
Well, that would be difficult. I would have to know what you know.
You're correct, though. And that is what we plan to use them for again.
Are we expecting another attack?
Did you
Say
not
that.
feel the disturbance in the force? Oh.
The earthquake.
The disturbance in the force.
Yeah.
The ground.
She kind of looks at the other 3, and they all kind of get a little, look.
what that was.
That's what that was. So, yes, we did feel it.
A new scar was placed upon the earth.
Well,
A large one.
Barely
Very
missed
nearly took out our
the city.
hometown.
interesting. We will have to look into that.
It's pretty deep. You won't see the bottom.
Oh, well. As she seems like she's getting ready to just kind of talk about it, and Borgos kind of clears his throat. And she's like,
Oh,
yes, you're probably right.
so you have remote viewing, is what you're saying, or not saying.
They're not saying a lot of things.
Borgos says, you could call it that.
What would you call it?
Deception.
We call it watching.
How long have you been watching?
Myself, I have been watching for at least 20 years.
What specifically
You
do
and
you
your
watch?
ancestors.
Me and my ancestors have been watching since the Fourth Age.
Do you have anything specific you watch?
We watch the lives of people.
There's only
Why?
4 of you? There's many lives.
Well, the four of us choose who we watch. Sometimes we watch one through their entire life. Sometimes we watch multiple people, somebody different every day.
Almost seems random.
I'm gonna think to the rest of us. So is everybody else kind of thinking what I'm thinking? They are the ancestors.
Yeah.
Just making sure I'm not alone in this.
I think it's a
Oh,
possibility.
no.
Just checking.
I mean, the way they're talking and the near slips they've had with the way they've talked about the ancestors,
Yeah.
I don't think they're used to having conversations anymore with with outsiders about
The soul.
themselves. I mean, having to refer to themselves as someone else.
You said you were on the look for a new watcher. How does one become a watcher?
They must be accepted.
By the soul of the fallen one?
He kind of looks at you with very curious. Something like that.
Like, how did you know that?
Yeah, kind of like. I mean, I guess we did say we were the Soul Court, but
Why so secretive?
they kind of look at Tulad. He kind of looks at you. So our kind is not yet known in this world, even though we've been here since the Fourth Age.
I'm going to pull out the book.
All right.
Even
Okay,
unknown
well.
to the gods?
And I'm going to write in the book or look in the book for the Soul Court.
You pull out the book right there and you open it up and you get the youngest girl's kind of attention. She kind of watches you for a minute. As you kind of look into the Soul Court, nothing.
I'm going to write in the book the Soul Court.
All right. It says the Soul Court.
They watch.
Okay. Anything that you add about the soul court, you're adding for the first time.
The first time. And as I'm writing set down things that I'm hearing, fourth age, they watch people, things like that, does it appear that she can see it?
Let me roll for that one. Because it's possible. Yes.
Okay. And I'm going to keep writing.
Okay.
And I'm going to ask, why do you watch?
Entertainment, knowledge, understanding.
I'm going to keep writing these things down since it seems that she can see it.
Mm-hmm. She kind of stops there.
How do you choose who to watch?
Depends on what life like they're living. Who are they influencing? Who are they being influenced by?
Then it seems interesting that you've never seen any of us.
Or have you? As I'm writing in the book.
Or have you?
I was thinking the same thing.
We've managed to make many changes around the world in the past year.
Tulad, the darker haired guy. This is, well, I guess he will introduce himself as Tulad. He'll say, I have seen most of you.
And
I'm going to write in my book, has watched those who serve the gods. Because I know she can see.
Yeah, she's watching. He says, we have seen you.
And what do you think?
At a distance.
But they don't know us very well.
But
you can see him kind of communicating at this point. You see a little bit of a aha on his expression. Like he's got an answer.
Oh, you figured something out, did you?
I did.
Was it something we did that you weren't sure was us?
No.
Or reasoning for things we've done that's clear now?
Not a reasoning for things you've done, a reason for you being distant.
As
Over
in we're
our
protected?
telepathy, I'm going to let them know that she can see the writing in the book.
So are we being protected from your viewing?
That is the rapid conclusion we came to, yes.
That's interesting. We sure haven't been protected from much else.
We are actually by each other.
The redhead kind of giggles.
Although in some ways I guess we have.
Yeah,
just considering the particular status we each hold with certain gods.
I like Forsyth's conclusion.
What was it? I missed what
we have been protected by each other.
Well, that's true. But this almost sounds like there was outside protection.
Oddly, the way that they behave would make me assume they were some sort of vassals of one of your god, Evangeline.
That's
Do we
true.
not become the protection for others at times?
Well, we have.
Yeah.
Okay, Joe, I only caught about a little bit of what you said.
Said that the way that they behave and the fact that they seem to absorb knowledge or seek knowledge, they almost remind me of vassals of your god.
It would seem that they might possibly I'm going to write Denier in the book and Severus
Okay.
in the book.
You just write
Just
them down.
just write the names down because I know she can see.
She's reading them. She doesn't seem to respond to them, like necessarily, but she's reading them as you're writing.
Who do you serve?
Orgos kind of gets a. We serve our ancestors.
Whom are?
Kind of looks at everybody. Kind of gets an okay. Orgos says, my ancestor is ghosts.
What?
Ghosts. Gos. Ghosts.
Goose.
Oh, that's one of the
I'm going to
gods.
flip the page and see what it tells me about
I don't
Geo.
think so. Ego is one of the gods, but
Oh,
not
ego.
ghosts.
And see what the
Ghost.
book tells me about ghosts.
He will turn to the young lady that introduced. She said, "My name is Zavakri. I serve my ancestor Cree."
Cree. I'm going to write Cree. I'm going to
And
look for Cree.
and the redhead says, "I am Nashana. I serve my ancestor Anna."
Okay. I'm going to write that in the book.
And Tulad says, "I serve my ancestor Lad. Lad. Lad."
Lot.
Have you all taken up some sort of symbiotic relationship with a soul of some person or creature?
That would be a way to describe it. Sure, yes.
I don't know. How would you describe it?
I would describe it as, well, I guess symbiotic would be the best way to describe it. I am the host.
You are the
with
host of
most?
this person?
Of my ancestor.
Oh,
Does make more sense?
yep. So we
Who
were
was
tracking it there, Chuck.
who or what was your ancestor before they needed a host?
Well, my ancestors has always described themselves to me as souls or spirits. I don't know if they had a form before me or my predecessors.
Are you given a choice?
As in, if
To
I
become a
eat
host?
or drink, or
If you are to become a host, is it a willing relationship?
it was willing for myself. It was willing for two others here. One was born as such.
Born a host? Or born to be a host?
Born as a host.
Was the host?
The
Did she
ancestor
die
was
in
already there.
from the mother or just in the child?
I believe, and kind of pauses a minute, it doesn't look at anybody like intentionally. Burgos is speaking. He says, if I recall correctly, it passed from mother to child.
In your symbiotic relationship, is there equality?
Yes.
Does the host speak for themselves and the guest speak for itself?
I speak for both. My ancestor speaks only to me.
Do you speak only what the ancestor tells you to speak?
No.
So you have free will.
Well, yes.
I continue writing these notes into the book.
Very interesting. Oh,
Intriguing.
Hmm.
The orrery, you say. You were looking for
Yes.
the orrery.
That's
Please.
actually why we came.
I believe it is beneath the stone on which we meditate. It would make the most sense, given the sphere of energy that floats above it.
Can you take us to it?
We can.
Would you please?
Certainly. They'll motion you to come closer, because if they're going to teleport, you all got to be there.
A step closer over the link. I say, if I end up inside of a tree, Forsyth, I'm gonna need you to come and save me.
Yeah.
Save yourselves. They will, lock hands, and they will teleport. And you'll feel that sickly feeling, and you will show up on the stone where there's the ball of energy floating
Tied
above it.
down to it.
Bergos will point underneath the ball of energy, which is, there's about 2 feet. It's a squeeze, but you could do it. Buckley might not be able to do it, but everybody else could. It's a squeeze, but there's a hole underneath the ball of energy.
My armor changes to an apron.
All right, got to be mobile. They will. You will catch
I will look
Nashada's attention and be like, "Oh, that's curious."
I will look. I will look for an enlarge reduce spell. See if there's one in the book.
Unfortunately,
I was going to say, I'm probably a little tight down here.
You're a little tight down there, but it's feasible.
However, can I see the bottom? Can I? Because I can vortex warp the space and move it.
The space.
Around Kadath.
Okay. Gotcha.
I can warp that space and move it to another space.
Move it to another space. Okay. You
I
kind
have to visual on both spaces.
you army crawl a little bit to get to the hole, and you look down in, and sure enough, you see an orrery. And you see seems to look bigger on the inside.
It's a TARDIS.
It's a TARDIS.
Dang, Time Lord technology everywhere.
But you do see the space, and it would be easy enough for Kadeth to fit in there comfortably. Just it'd be a tight squeeze to get him through the hole.
I will expend 2 spells. What's this? What's the distance between where they are and the space at the bottom?
I would say no more than 80 feet.
Yeah. I will.
Poor girl. She dropped down and whacked her face on my foot. She got a foot to the chin.
Boot to the head.
Yeah,
To the head.
basically.
I will expend 2 second level spells, and I will vortex warp Buckley and Kadath from the top down to the bottom where there's space for both of them.
Before you
All
do
right.
that,
You see Tulad kind of tilt his
require
head.
4th level. Never mind.
One you don't know.
What's that?
As I start crawling down.
Oh no, it would take me a 4th level spell. So if it's just gonna take you 2 second levels.
Yeah, I'll just do those 2 second level spells because I don't do a lot of spells.
No, she doesn't.
I have a lot of spells, but I don't use a lot of spells.
And while she's doing that, Fix is crawling in already and getting
All
started
right.
on fixing the orrery if he can.
All right.
And
So
I'll
you
crawl
crawl on down.
and get into the orrery with Fix and help out however I
All
can.
right. Through the hole, it is a short drop. You do land on top of the orrery from the hole. And it's not a far drop. It's not far enough to even cause damage. But you do land on the orrery. You see Kadeth and Buckley show up. Evangeline starts crawling through. Forsyth, are you going to polymorph for shapeshift or something, or are you just going to crawl through in a halfling form?
Oh, for now I'm just going to crawl through because I don't want to waste the change in case I need it.
All right. All right. So you crawl on
Plus,
through.
I haven't shown it to these guys yet, so I really don't want
That's
them
true.
to
They
realize
seem
that
very
capability.
interested in everything that you do. You've noticed that.
Right.
You drop in and you begin to work on the orrery. It is 9:30, and I think we're going to pause there. So you are at the orrery at the Iron Saint. So far, you have managed avoiding any combat. We'll see if that remains the same. I don't know. Maybe.
Are these guys supposed to be a combat?
Well, it depends on how you handled it. Because, you know, I'm not going to tell you to roll insight checks. And we're going to leave it at that.
A reason to roll insight checks.
I don't know. These are 4 strange people that have been here forever and nobody knows their race. And
But we are also strange people
this is
to them.
And I mean, okay, so
and
I
they're
do have
meditating around a sphere. Like, what way is it?
Okay. To be fair, I do have a passive insight of 18, so I don't know if that would have helped.
Oh, okay. Well, you need to remind me of that stuff. Passive insight of 18. They definitely are holding close to the chest a lot of their own intentions.
Oh, but of course. So are we.
I have a passive insight of 11, and I could tell that.
Most of the time when they stop speaking, where you kind of it's because they're just kind of saying some things and they get choked off by somebody. At this point, maybe whoever their ancestor is. Or by one of their own. Watching others definitely has a different meaning. When they say watching, they're using it almost in quotations.
Yeah.
Hmm.
They are a bit odd.
I will be honest. Right now, Fix's primary focus is on that orrery.
Get the orrery fixed, then we'll come up
Yep.
and
The orrery
Smack these
fix.
guys around if we need.
And I'm assuming everybody's telepathically communicating because at least there's a chance that they can't hear.
Yeah.
If we speak out loud, definitely they'll be able to hear. Was it the redhead or the dark-headed one that definitely was looking at the book?
The dark-headed one was definitely looking at the book.
Yeah,
And I
I
will
think
tell them
the,
that she could
overtly.
see
She
what
was
I
not
was
hiding it.
she was looking. She could also see. She could see what I was writing.
So she
I
could
don't
pierce
think
the
the
veil of
ages are
God.
necessarily what you think they are.
Yeah.
And you get a very strong sense that all of them are magical to some degree. Obviously, because they could teleport. All of them could teleport.
Yeah, but
And
they
for
might all have the same magic.
But
Right.
Forsyth can see their actual form
They
Yeah.
appear as you
as
see
they
them.
are.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
Evangeline, you're
there's,
saying that they can pierce the veil of a god
Yes.
with
I do
little
not
effort.
believe that their ancestors are just ancient beings that cohabitate inside their body in a symbiotic relationship.
Interesting.
As you begin to fix the orrery, you're having a nice discussion.
In our
he's
heads.
going through all the basic checks of it and taking inventory, things like that. So he doesn't have to really concentrate on this part as much as he's worked on one before.
Do we only have one card open at the moment?
One card at the moment, I
Yeah,
believe.
right.
The rune
The
card.
rune card.
Because we finished the we didn't, but the Fin of Void was finished.
Yes. By oh,
Laethus?
was he a
Laethus.
present in Niliesh when we walked by?
He was not. But nobody else seemed to pay attention to it.
Either way, I wouldn't be surprised either way. And we'll not crush their little dreams. So,
but the guardian is always here.
That's right.
while we're down here and we're fixing, I want to pull out the rune card.
Okay.
And see if there's any noticeable anything in there that's changed since we've been here.
All right. I will tell you that there has been no noticeable changes to it.
Okay.
But
I didn't really expect there to be, but
right. So this is where we're going to leave it for tonight because it is 9:30 AZ time. And we will pick up next week with some dice rolling for fixing the orrery and see what happens after that. And that's where we're going to end.
All right.
So, all right. For those of you who are still watching, thanks for sticking with us. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and be sure to like and share this video, get it out to some friends. And check out our other social media links in our video description. You can check those out. Also go to danddadjokes.com because that's where we're going to be putting up where we're going to be headed, any conventions that we're going to be part of. That's also where we post our town crier, so you can catch up on past events. Also, yeah, just keep an eye out there. We're working toward an end for this campaign, and we're already kind of in the stir pot for our next campaign, and you don't want to miss it because it's going to be a lot of fun. And
It is completely
Is
different.
it?
it is completely different. Yep.
Yep.
So it'll be fun. So be sure to keep an eye out for that website and watch us go through some changes. And yeah, I think that's it. I'm not missing anything, right?
No. Have a great
I
night, everyone.
don't think
Bye.